Morning guys, so as promised today we are going to take a look at Everlong by the Foo Fighters, another classic Foos tune that if I'm right off the top of my music history, Dave wrote this himself. He performed the whole musical accompaniment, so drums, bass, guitar, all himself during a sort of a hard period for the band back in the 90s. So yeah, it's a classic Foo song, a great Foo song, a bit softer than the harder stuff that we do. So we're going to have a look at it today. We'll get tuned up and we'll go into the lesson. But obviously before we do that, just as always, I appreciate the support here. So don't forget to give me a cheeky like and a cheeky subscribe. Pop over to the Facebook page as well if you're not already on it. But for now, let's get into the lesson and let's rock. Okay, so Everlong. For this, you're going to need to be tuned down to drop D. For those that don't know, drop D, obviously you take your strings, that should be in sort of a standard tuning, and you drop your low E string down to D. So you will have D, A, D, G, B, and E again on the first string. Forgive me for having my low E string a little bit lower. I've got it in E flat at the moment because for this song that high E string, sorry, is not used. Yeah, that's the tuning you're going to need. So for the most part on this song, you're going to be alternating between two fingers for the most part. You can use three, but I find two being the easiest. So you can either use your first and your ring, or as I'm going to be using it, the old rock song, look at that, yeah, a bit of metal. Your first and your pinky finger. Okay, you're going to be up here, okay, between the 9th fret and your 11th fret. Okay. And the song starts with your first finger on the 9th fret of the 5th string and your little or ring, whichever one you prefer. It's little for me, but some people prefer to have the stretch on the 3rd. But you're going to need that on the 4th string of the 11th fret. Okay, so you can see that there. Okay, for the first part, it will sound something like this within the intro. Now, for that's Dave playing the opening. We sort of alternate here between the Dave Grohl sort of lead guitar part and then the Pat Smear side of the rhythm section, okay? So what you're doing there is you're sort of chugging on your low E string and then down to the other two strings, so your 4th and your 4th and your 5th there. See how I'm doing it there, sort of. Okay, and then once you've got that first part, so the first sort of beats, as it were, you take your first finger, keep your ring or your little, whichever one you've got on that 4th string, but take your first finger and just lay it across strings number 6 and 5 on that 9th fret, okay? But your little finger or ring finger, whichever you're using, stays planted where it is. And then you repeat the pattern, okay? So you're still on that low E, but you're doing the same thing underneath. Okay, so you'll have something like this. Okay, and then you pull that whole sort of shape that you've got there. So if you ignore my middle and my ring, you can see the shape that I'm holding there, okay? My first finger is across strings 6 and 5, and my little finger there is on string number 4, okay? Take that shape down, so that your first finger is now on strings 6 and 5 on the 5th fret, and your little finger is there on the 4th string of fret number 7, okay? And again, repeat the pattern. Just a couple of times, okay? Okay, so you'll have this. And then you're coming back up. And finishing it 4 beats there, okay? So you're back up there to end it with your first finger, again, across strings number 6 and 5. Little finger on string number 4, but it's on the 9th and the 11th fret. There you can see me marking out here, 9 and 11, okay? So, all together, for the intro, you'll have this. Pretty simple, right? And then at a bit of speed for you, okay? Nice and simple, right? And we're just going down strokes, okay? So no, not necessary to alternate for the intro. Just go nice, simple down strokes, nice relaxed wrist, just to get that intro right, okay? And then we move into the sort of main crux of the song, okay? Now, the shape that I've been showing you there with your little / ring, whichever you're using, and your first finger pretty much stays the same throughout the whole song, okay? And as I say, this is note for note on the official tab, as it were. So you're going to be keeping that shape. So don't worry too much having to alternate your fingers or move yourself around or worry about chord shapes. It's just a simple shape that we're using across 4 strings, okay? So, when the song kicks in, it will be something like this. Okay, and it is just that repeated over and over and over, okay? So again, it's the same shape, the same chords that you started with, okay? So your first finger is still going to be on that 9th fret, on the 5th string. Your little finger, still on the 4th string at fret number 11, and you're just sort of strumming the once and allowing the gain to come through. So have your gain turned up a little bit on your amp. If not, you can hit it a couple of times just to get the notes to ring out, okay? And then you hit it once more, and then take your first finger, and put it back across strings number 6 and 5 on that 9th fret. So you've got that shape again, okay, the shape you've just been over for the intro. But rather than doing that whole, okay, you're just hitting them once straight down, okay? Okay, so you'll have this. Then you hit that again and move it down, okay, so that our first finger is now on string 6 and 5 at fret number 5 here, and our little / ring is on the 4th string at fret number 7. Okay, so you'll have this from the beginning of the sort of main part of the song. And then you hit that once more, and then bring it back up to where we started, frets 9 and 11. Okay, so once more, nice and slow. Okay, and then we go into the main strum section. Okay, so again, same shapes, okay? So we're still back here where our little finger is on fret number 11 and string number 4. And our first finger is on string number 5 at fret number 9. Okay, so you're just doing downstrokes initially. Okay. And then you're going again, just barring those lowest 2 strings. And this time you want to alternate, so down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, you can do it as just as downs if you're not too comfortable with your alternate strumming. Okay, whichever you feel most comfortable with, okay? So again, just from the first part. And then again, moving it down. So we're at that the 5th fret here on string 6 and 5, and the 7th fret here on string number 4. And you're just hitting that 4 times, okay? And then you're coming back up to where you were on strings number 9, on frets number 9 and 11. And it's just repeating that through and through the verse and that main intro part, okay? Excuse me. So from there we get, the part where they're going into the bridge, into the chorus, which will sound something a little bit like this. And then we're into the chorus, okay? So that bridge section, you're going to be obviously going from the shape that you had here, okay? Between this is what you had with your little finger and your first. You're going to be moving that little finger down your neck, as it were, to string number 3, okay? And you're having it just here, okay? And your first finger will be on string number 5, okay? But you're going to be up at fret number 4 with your first, and number 6 with your little slash ring, whichever you prefer, as always, okay? Now, the trick to this part, you're going to want to be trying to mute your low E, okay, so that lowest string, and your 4th string. Okay, now, the trick to doing that, I don't know if you can see there, the low E for me is resting just on the top of my first finger, and what you can't see underneath is that I'm using the pad of my first finger, just gently laying on string number 4. So I'm effectively muting those 2 strings, okay, whilst I've got pressure applied to string number 5. Okay, so when I hit it, you're going to hear the tone from string 5, but not from string 6 and 4. Okay, and then when we include that little finger, that should be down here on your 3rd string. Okay? And that's the sort of tone that you're aiming for. It may take a bit of practice to get that, okay? This is the tougher part of the song, probably the toughest, because you've got to get your mutes right. Otherwise, you're going to end up with something that sounds sort of, a bit duller, not as clean. I suppose you can get away with that, just to get the song out. But it's a bit dirty. You're not getting that sort of clean, high-pitched tone that you can hear in the song. So practice your mutes. It's a great thing to have in your sort of skill set, as it were. So this is a good song to be practicing it on. Okay. So when you've got your finger positioning of your first finger at fret 4, string number 5, and your little slash ring finger on your 3rd string at fret number 6 that you can see here. And first finger's here. Okay. And we're going from there, up 1 fret on each. Okay, and then you're dragging that again up to frets number 7 and frets number 9. And then you're coming up 1 more, so that your first finger is now on fret number 9. And your little finger is on fret 11, effectively where we started with your verse. Okay, so you're like this. Bit slower, back up on fret 4 with your first finger. Okay, so the slightly tough part, maintaining that mute. You're going to be hitting that position we start with. So your little finger there at fret number 9. Your first finger at fret number 9 and your little finger at fret 11. You're hitting that once more, sliding it up 1 fret on each, and then back down. And then finishing with your first finger on fret number 7 and your little finger on fret number 9, and just hit that once. So you'll have this from the very beginning, okay? Okay, it's that simple. Okay, just practice that part more than anything, I would say, with this song. Okay, so you'll do that 3 times, and then you'll come back to going into the chorus, which will be something like this. Okay, so for that, once you've done your slide, as it were, when you come back to this position with your first on the 9th and your pinky on the 11th, you're then going to bar, okay, those lowest 3 strings. So strings number 6, 5, and 4, and keep your little finger planted on that 3rd string at fret number 11. And just hit that 4 times. Drag it down so that your first finger is now at fret number 5, still on those lowest 3 strings, okay? And your little finger is still here on string number 3, but at fret number 7. Okay, so you'll have this. And then just release your first finger, but keep that little O-ring finger planted, okay? Okay, so you'll have this. A little bit slower. Now on that 3rd playthrough, rather than going back down here, we're then coming just up a fret, okay? So your first finger will then bar your 7th fret, strings number 6, 5, and 4, and your little finger is still there on fret number 3. On string number 3, but on fret number 9. 4 strums again, and then back down. Okay, so your first finger is on the 5th fret, and the little finger is on the 7th. So you'll have this. And then we're back into the verse. Okay, those are the only chords for the whole song. You do have that section where he comes back after the sort of break and he's doing the whole sort of chugging again. And then when they come back to go back through the song, you're up here again doing this whole... Okay, but that is the basis of the song. These are the only chords you're going to learn, the only shapes you're going to need. So when you're listening to the song, you will know just by listening to it where your shapes are, where your song is, and where you need to be on the neck. So the intro is slightly different with your chugging, of course. Your verse is effectively the same shape and the same chords as the intro, but you are just hitting the strings clean. None of this sort of alternating between each string. And again, the only difficult part is really only difficult part, I should say. It's different for every player, I know. Is really when you're trying to mute with your first finger on those strings. That's the part that I would probably say will need the most practice. But as you go through, you're going to pick up the whole song, and before you know it, you're going to know the entirety of this without too much difficulty. There's nothing overly complicated in it, no overly complicated chords. It's just those shapes that you've got to learn, okay? So give that a go. Drop me some comments if there's any sort of, bits you want me to pick up on. If there's any bits you're struggling with, just let me know. I don't mind. I will answer all those that I can for you as always. But in the meantime, as always, don't forget to give me a cheeky like and a subscribe before you disappear to pick up your guitar and have a go at this. And let me know how you get on either below or over on the Facebook page. And I'll come back midweek and next weekend with a different song. I might put it to you guys this week to see what you fancy learning, but we'll see what we come back with. But in the meantime, guys, as always, stay safe, take care, and I will catch you next time.